wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic podcast. My name is Steve, and this is a podcast about the philosophy of Stoicism, a philosophy that I have been learning about for the last 4 or 5 years now, and I've found it has brought quite a bit of benefit to my life, and I think it's benefiting a lot of people around the world based on the growth of Stoicism, the conferences, the groups, the various podcasts, of which I am lucky to play a minor part in. Anyway, we just finished the Enchiridion, one of the major texts of Stoicism, and I appreciate you all for sticking with me through that discussion. And we are now, we face the future. What shall we do next? And I wanted to start today by talking about rules of life and something I've been working on. So I have been trying to get better at Stoic practices, and not only Stoic practices, but implementing a little bit of mindfulness in sort of the Western Buddhist tradition and things like that. And so I'm trying to build a practice with a little meditation, both in the mindful sense as well as the Stoic sense. Some regular journaling and reflection, and occasional practice of hardships as well. By the way, I have found that cold showers are a lot easier to take in Arkansas summers than they are in the winter. Anyway, but so that's what I've been working on. And one of the things that I have been trying to work on, and I'd love to get your feedback on this, maybe my patrons can get together with me and we can discuss this in a upcoming chat. But Epictetus tells us that we need to set rules for ourselves, rules of conduct that we would practice alone as well as in front of others, and that we set them up in such a way, we tell ourselves that it would be impious for us to break them, as if we're breaking the will of God himself should we violate these rules of conduct. So what are those for you? Have you thought about that? You don't need a huge list of rules, just a few things that will be your core morality, the core way you wish to live in this world. Something to think about. And so what I've done, and I'm not the first to do this, and I have borrowed from the ideas of others, I've tried to create sort of a list of Stoic commandments, as it were. Now, the Stoics aren't big on rules when it comes to behavior. They are practitioners of virtue ethics, where you know the general guidelines of what you're trying to pursue: wisdom, justice, temperance, fortitude. And at the same time, you have to use reason to decide what to do in each situation. However, there are things ideas we can draw from their teachings. And I have a crude list here that I've started. It needs refinement. This is not specific to me, but just Stoicism in general. And I thought I'd go through my list of 10 ideas. Some of them I probably should lump into one idea, but hey, this is what I got for now. If you have ideas on how to improve this list, let me know. So number 1, nature is your origin and you are an extension of nature. Another way to reword that would simply be live according to nature. So you are a part of nature, and therefore you must live according to reality. Don't be upset when the sun goes down. All humankind are your siblings. That's the second one. So we're all meant, let's just remove teleology from the argument, but we are all interrelated. It's in our best interest that we all work together, that we teach each other when our neighbors are wrong, rather than getting mad and going to war with them. Evil cannot be done to you, but you yourself are capable of evil. So according to the Stoics, your choices, your desires and choices are where good and evil lie. The things that happen to you are indifferent, and they may not be pleasant, but you are the source of your own good and evil. Put your efforts in those things that you can control, and next, those externals that have value. which ties into the next one, which is use indifference as tools to achieve virtue. Rather than letting external things, indifferent things, control you, use them as tools to achieve virtue. So don't go after useless things. Go after things that have value, that can enhance human life, that can help others, etc. The next one I have is do not compare, compete, or complain about others. So don't compare yourself to others. You are on your own journey here. Do not compete with others. I'm sure if you're playing soccer or something, that's fine. But, don't set up your life as a competition against your cousin about who can have the biggest house and, nonsense like that. They are on their own journey. If you're in a competition, it's basically anti-Stoic in that you are judging your self-worth based on the performance of others. And that's probably not a good idea. And complaining gets us nowhere. It's not a Stoic thing to do. Do not desire the impossible. I want to live forever. Yeah, well, move on. That is a narrative that makes no sense. It is valueless to pursue. Remember that all things change. If you remember that, it'll help you to live according to nature. You do not have time to waste, so seize the day. So another way to say that is memento mori and carpe diem, right? If you remember that, you won't waste too much time. And lastly, virtue is enough. Even if you don't have wealth, power, much education, etc., to live well through virtue is to live the good life, according to the Stoics. So that is a list of kind of general Stoic commands that I came up with. What is your list? What would your list look like? So that's kind of a list of, generic Stoic ideas. Now, I tried to write my own list of rules that I will try to live by. 10 rules to myself. It doesn't have to be 10 if you want to try this yourself, but 10 is sort of the classic number, right? Seneca did, I think, roughly 10 rules to himself. Marcus had 10 rules of dealing with difficult people, and so on and so forth. So, this is my list. Now, I'll point out that why would you want to do a list like this? Well, if you have a list that you can commit to memory, to remind yourself of your values, it makes some decision-making quite easy. For example, I didn't know if I was going to record this podcast this week. Recording this podcast, probably not on my list of absolutely have to do things in this world. It's something I choose to do when I can. But my family, however, is something that I put before all else. Okay, and I know that, so that's one of my rules, right? You have to have this thought out. So, I almost didn't record a podcast this week because my son caught COVID-19 from his preschool, and so he's missed his first week of kindergarten now. My wife caught it from my son, even though she's vaccinated, and so far I haven't caught it as far as I can tell. I've tested negative. I'm going to test myself one more time because I have to start teaching. So my life has gotten very complicated very quickly, but I know where my priorities are. So when my sick son said, I want to snuggle and watch Star Wars, I could say, no, go away. But then I remember, hey, no, go away. I don't want to catch COVID. But then I'm like, hey, this is my son. My role as his father. Come here, buddy. Let's watch Star Wars and I'll sit with you. It makes decision making easier when you know your rules of life. And so here is my attempt at my own 10 rules. Okay. Number 1. I will revere nature. I don't mean worship nature, but I am a biologist. I love nature. I want to learn from nature. Okay. Number 2, I will not conceal the truth. Number 3, I will not compare myself to others. Number 4, I cannot control events, so I must control myself. Number 5, I will strive to overcome my passions. Once again, I'm speaking in the Stoic sense here. Anger, lust, jealousy, those kind of passions. Number 6, I will strive for arete, in all that I do. Arete meaning human excellence. Number 7, I will honor those who have nurtured me and ensure that I nurture others. So by nurture, my teachers, my family, my mentors, my friends, and I must ensure that I nurture others on my path through life as well. Number 8, I will place family before all else. Number 9, I will be present in all that I do. That's me attempting to be mindfully in the here and now. And number 10, I will never stop learning. So that is my attempt at my own personal list of rules to live by. Haven't committed them entirely to memory at the tip of my tongue yet, but I hope to soon. All right, all. I need to get back to work. I need to go pick up supper for my wife and son. And so wish us luck. Thank you for hanging in there and listening to the Sunday Stoic podcast. I hope it gave you something to think about. If you have a list of your own rules that you use to live by, or you have your own ideas, share them with me. This is a handy thing to do. Write down your list of rules. How many do you come up with? Other activities that I've talked about in the past include writing your own obituary, the one that you would have if you died now, and the one that you hope to have if you live the life and make the changes that you are trying to make in your life. What would that look like? Different activities you can do to help you understand yourself better and to figure out where you need to change and where you will draw the line and say, I shall not cross this line. My values are here and I will not deviate from this. Something that I think is good for us all to do, to get to know ourselves better so that we can be better members of the human cosmopolis. All right, all, if you want to contact me, sundaystoic@gmail.com. If you have any desire to support the show, you can do that on Patreon. And other than that, check me out on YouTube. You can hear the podcast there. You can hear it on Facebook. I share it on Facebook. You can follow it on any sort of platform that you get your podcast from. But if you do download the show, make sure to subscribe and give it a good review wherever you listen to it. That'd help a lot. All right, all. Thanks for listening. And Carpe Diem. Seize the day. Once again, Carpe Diem.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team. Earn rewards by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe Diem.